Hello, America, and to our friends around the world, greetings, and specifically to those in the state of Oregon. Currently, legislation is pending House Bill 3075. I wanted to include a link, which I will put in the description, to file a testimony as well as to the bill itself. I will post this on Gab, X, and Truth Social. The following summary is not prepared by the sponsors of the measure and is not part of the body thereof, subject to consideration by the Legislative Assembly. It is an editor's brief statement of the essential features of the measure as introduced. The statement includes a measure digest written in compliance with applicable readability standards. Digest. The Act, referring to House Bill 3075, makes changes to the gun permit and transfer process. The Act goes into effect when the governor signs it. Modifies the firearm permit provisions of Ballot Measure 114. Yes, the notorious Ballot Measure 114, which Judge Rocchio of Union County in December of 2023, I believe it was, ruled as being unconstitutional, has been appealed, and apparently the Oregon Supreme Court has ruled that the appeal was accurate. Specifies where a person may apply for a permit to purchase a firearm. That right there goes against not only the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, but also the second or the appropriate amendment of the Oregon Constitution. All right, to make sure I actually had it correct. Oregon's Constitution, Article 1, Section 27 states, "The people shall have the right to bear arms for the defense of themselves and the state, but the military shall be kept in strict subordination to the civil power." All right, this bill 3075, this bill, according to the Oregon citizenslobby.org, the Act makes changes to the gun permit and transfer process. The Act goes into effect when the governor signs it as an emergency, so citizens can't challenge it. They're depriving you of due process. They're depriving you of your right to file a grievance against the government. They're creating a state of emergency to give martial law in order to enact an illegal, you know, legislation. This is unacceptable. And if you live in Oregon, I've got included on the screenshot the House bill website link right here. I wanted to do it as a short URL to make it easier for you to copy it down. I'll have the text body of the bill here in a moment. All right, to testify, this one's going to be a little bit longer, so I'll put more time on it for you. It's O as in Oscar, L as in Lima, I as in India, S as in Sierra, dot oregonlegislature.gov / L as in Lima, I as in India, Z as in Zulu / 2025 R uppercase R, 2025 uppercase R as in Romeo 1 / measures with a capital M as in Mike / overview with a capital O as in Oscar / capital H as in hotel, capital B as in Bravo 3075. Remember, you can replay the video to write this down. I'm going to put these links in the description so that you can offer your own online testimony. It has to be done this weekend in order to be received by the House on Monday, the 17th. Between Oregon and Washington, it's almost as if they're having a race to see which state can be the more vile and in terms of mistreating the people. Already, there's been many calls in the state of Washington advising people, especially those that have children, to leave. The legislation that they enacted, that the schools can hide predatory behaviors being done upon children, that the school has every right and the state backing to hide that information from parents. It's nightmarish. It's dystopian. How these people continue to get elected is, if you've got three scenarios. One is that this is all just some big simulation fantasy thing. Two, an overwhelming majority of the people are sick in the head and get off on this. Or three, it's completely rigged. Perhaps there's a fourth option, and that is it doesn't matter. It's not, the old joke, if voting mattered, they wouldn't let you do it. But you've got to think of your children, the people that have no ability to protect themselves. You got to keep them safe. And that extends to what's going on with Oregon. I made a post on X recently that we can't wait for a judge such as Rashio to come along and rule something unconstitutional that very obviously is. We have to be ready to resist. You've got Ben Idle who's suggesting we should have a right to bear arms rally in Salem, and I think that that's a bad idea, as that will just give them a reason to take the Oregon State Police and National Guard and mow everybody down in attendance, because they would view that as a threat, and the media would go along with it. Now, there has to be a different option. Running away isn't an option. Retreating after, to recalibrate and resupply is not the same as running away. Sun Tzu's manual talks about death ground, and we're not in any of those positions yet. But it's imperative that each of us offers a testimony for this bill 3075. Now, granted, it'd have to go through the Senate also to be signed by the governor. But this is the agenda. And let me double check something. All right, it's a good thing I did double check it, because the similarity in names was too close. The chief sponsor of this bill is Jason Kropf, a Democrat from Bend, Oregon. And it's, California North. I mean, I haven't been there in decades. Redmond, Bend, Three Sisters, whatever. I mean, people love it. I was too young to really give it any concern, but regardless, it's a popular place, and he's their representative, and he's the one that's pushing this. The 54th district, and it's late, it's almost midnight, but I wanted to get this put out there so that you guys have the links to offer testimony to Congress, to let them know that this is unacceptable. Good luck and stay vigilant. The Pacific Northwest is a beautiful place and deserves to be restored to what it was before these communists came in and took over.